Good afternoon. Gosh, I don't know how to make that sound less like presentery. Let's get through these last 20 pages. Oh my gosh. It's been, well, 28 pages. We're on page 140 of the amendment, and all this live is going to be about just getting through this amendment to Justin Baldoni's lawsuit. Because last night my boy was like, is he amending laws now? I'm like, no. Anyways, so we left off on page 141. I'll I didn't do this last yesterday, but I'll include the link for anyone who is coming in and wants to follow along. Um anyway, so page 141 is continuing from Stephanie Jones's, "Hey Jamie, I still want to, do my best for you. Don't listen to these other people," basically. Um et cetera, et cetera. And this is what I think you should be doing, which is 2 points out of the many points that Melissa Nathan and her team came up with before. On August 14th, Wayfair Studios, TMZ to Wayfair Studios. There's an email. Okay, hold on. Sorry. I was like, I'm missing something. Yes, page. All right. So the TMZ statement for TMZ. "Hello, I'm a reporter at TMZ and I'm reaching out to get a statement regarding some information. We're being told there were at least 3 HR complaints filed against Justin Baldoni on set of It Ends With Us. We wanted to see if the complaints were investigated and what the results were. Thank you." Um, sorry. And then there's a discussion between the reporter and tag team, which is Melissa Nathan's team. A source close to set says they don't know of any investigation, but there was an intervention. Okay. We heard we heard there were multiple HR complaints from crew and cast. Sorry. Um s- Starting with the first day of production. Wayfair is the studio. It's unclear if Wayfair Studios performed an investigation into the claims against themselves. Separately, we are aware there was an intervention with Justin Baldoni midway through production based on a pattern of inappropriate behavior by him towards cast and crew. So, I would say like this is one of the first shots, right, from Blake Lively's side to like the public in a way, behind the scenes at least, that will eventually get to the public. Off record, the only complaint, which not confirmed if it was an official HR complaint, was a guy up for a gig on the crew. Complained the younger guy who got it did so because of ageism. There was investigation and found no wrongdoing. There are no other complaints. Oh my gosh, it gets worse. Especially no other things. Blah. This was gosh, if this was clear, I would read it again. But this was in the original lawsuit. There was not an intervention on set or with members of the crew. This would be false to allude to. Blake and Ryan had Justin and his team over for a meeting where Blake expressed all the things that upset she was upset about. This was not Justin versus the team behind the film. It was his team versus Blake and Ryan. More of a contentious meeting. The way it reads now reads as if it was a proper or oh yeah, a proper intervention with cast and crew. Not true. Okay, thank you. I just sent IM. I'll keep you posted. What is the email for Wayfair? I need to legal reach out. I need legal to reach out. Okay, so just August 14th, Baldoni sends Abel a TikTok from a creator suggesting that Baldoni is involved in something bad. Um, Baldoni is just as confused as the rest of his team about the nature of this bombshell. Abel replies, "That is the question of the century," and reassures him, saying, "There is no bombshell, as you know." while confirming that she and the team are closely monitoring the situation in case a response is needed. I mean, this is right. This is the media that both sides can easily complain about, that the media, the public, just you and I, regular people, just sense something is up and will start questioning it. And they were questioning it, and I mean, don't hate to say it, actually. I was gonna say hate to say it. I don't hate to say it. I think primarily the sentiment will go bad for the guy, especially in this way where he was alone and all the cast was together. And yeah, it was just clearly intended for that to look that way. Um and people will like question it, and this is what they do, and this is, especially people who like to create clickbait so people can click on them, and I don't necessarily blame them for that. That's kind of the nature of the game. I try not to, and then it's like it's also just hard, like how can you say things that are there's it's just so hard to say things in one title and say things that are like straight to the point, to the like craziness of it or how you feel about it, and then also how like it'll entice people to click on it because they will understand what it's about. A lot of this, like especially these kind of long videos, not this one because this one's pretty like straightforward, this is all that we're doing, so whatever. But a lot of the videos, the long form videos, it's like, well, there's so many moments, right? And you try to make chapters, and that's kind of one way that people can second like click on something and then like, oh, what are the chapters to this, and it's kind of like they're mini titles, subtitles. But um just going off on a tangent with clickbait, I feel like that's kind of what they're saying, like, oh, it's just clickbait, don't worry about it. um but it was already kind of a thing, and TMZ already like said this. And I wonder about this, guy who didn't get the gig. Like, is that even real? I hate to say this, but I don't hate to say it because I'm not here to just blindly trust and fight for one side over the other. I my side, me siding with Justin's side is not because I'm so blindly loyal to him or because he's the underdog or because of this or that. It's because most of what we've seen, like more than 90% of what we've seen from all of this, looks like he's been wronged and she's kind of crying wolf. And that's why I'm on this side, not to like not call things out. I think that's a little suspicious. What And not saying that it means even anything. This is at this point, this is all such a PR kind of game. I'm not surprised, but I wonder if that's true. I'm not gonna lie. I wonder if this like guy was true, or the tag team was just deflecting from, answering a question that would open up the whole can of worms. And they kind of did answer a little bit, like, yeah, there was a meeting, it was contentious and blah blah blah. And it kind of did like kind of bump an elbow, like, yeah, it wasn't, the project against Justin or Blake and Ryan and whatever. It was more the project against Blake and Ryan. So, but it's PR defense. It's not necessarily, the legal side of the defense, which is different. Like what we're seeing in the complaint and stuff is different. I don't know if this we saw it before, but this is impossible to read again. And and I'll try to read it. So Justin sent that TikToker Jennifer Abel says this guy is who we've been following her. Wait, what? This girl is who we've been following her. She's been hinting at a big scandal for a while, and yet nothing. She's thinking at me doing something bad. Oh, she's hinting at me doing something bad. Like, WTF, LOL, what are people making up? Oh, I don't think we've seen this one, but I can't read it. um, yeah, anyways, we're monitoring. Good point, good something, good note. Is there a lot of stuff like this? Honestly, there is not. This is the girl I was telling you who is the daughter at a retired studio exec who was anti-Blake, and then she shifted. Yeah, anyways, that's interesting that she was the daughter of a retired. I wonder who it is. It's not the one that came out that said that Blake like shunned her or whatever. Not shunned her, but like complained about her. Um, yeah, but either way, um, she's a daughter of a retired studio executive that was anti-Blake. That's something. And then, switch sides because she was following the story. She was following the wind. Oh, the wind is blowing this way. Oh, what is this about? The wind is blowing this way. Oh, is this about? But if she was anti-Blake for a while, as a daughter of a studio executive, I wonder if she had, behind the scenes stories as to why she was anti-Blake, or if it was just going with the wind for, social media's sake. Hi, good afternoon, P. Welcome. This is a boring one. I'm just trying, I just really want to like close this chapter of this lawsuit. So the last 20 pages, page 142. But yeah, so August 14th, Baldoni texts Nathan seeking clarity on what is happening, what the strategy is, and how the ongoing feud can be resolved. Nathan explains that she spoke with Sloan and asked her for her perspective on a solution. Nathan observes that when Baldoni is respectful, Reynolds, the Reina, you know who it is, and Lively, don't like it. And when he plays by their rules, they still don't approve. That's kind of been what we've seen. She questions what do they want. Nathan further clarifies to Baldoni that she left the matter with Sloan, asking her to indicate what course of action she prefers. Nathan emphasized that she is willing to work with Sloan, either collaboratively or to protect Baldoni and Wayfair. Until something is leaked or wrongfully put out by Lively's team, Nathan and her team will not take further action. So I guess this is the why are they doing this? This is definitely they can show the judge, hey, look, see, we didn't make it easy for them to read these text messages. We put them out there, but we made it as hard as possible. I don't think it could get any harder than these. I don't think I can read most of this. This is absurd. Justin Baldoni, hello from the air above the UK. Melissa Nathan, I'm guessing good afternoon. They might I don't know. I don't know what she's saying. Talk to me about this. So I'm really frustrated about this crisis PR leak and framing it has blank from to pose that I have something to hide and also there was yeah. I don't understand how we are letting her continue to leak stories and to do this to us. Just need to walk me through this. And I wish we would know what she said, but I can't tell a single word. I can tell some words from this. Oh my gosh. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Um, here's one thing. I don't know where this falls into this conversation. Oh, after a bunch of other text messages. That's a conversation I'm going to have with Jen and Jamie today. I said to Leslie if she can trust um, Sloan. I said to Leslie on the phone, you tell us what you think the solution is here. He is respectful. They don't like. He plays by the rules. They don't like. English? They don't like it. What do they like? I'm waiting on an answer. You hiring someone isn't a nuclear story. It's a prepared story. And everyone big in Hollywood has a crisis person, especially these days. I would disagree with that. I think that was definitely a whoop red flag. We're waving a flag. There's something there. I mean I remember when that happened and it was a big thing. Yes, everyone has PR and maybe they have crisis PR that people don't know, but usually it's especially I think after probably after Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, people are like, "Wait, what is happening?" And the fact that they leaked it with that connotation, with that relation, I feel she needs to know we aren't scared. Oh, she does. I went through every single thing truthfully with her. I think she's trying to get the cast and blank to make a statement or something together. Um, doesn't that show our cards if she knows our whole defense and you don't know her attack? Sorry, I'm just learning, not questioning. I think that's super fair, super fair because this is like, remember, this is like his whole livelihood, not just like a job. It's like a whole career and life brand, and I don't mean brand to like make it less significant or like monetizing or not monetizing it, like corporatizing it, like corporate. Um But, like, when you're, like, a creative and you're, like, trying to do something good in the world or whatever, something bad, whatever if when you're trying to do something and you're a creative, it kind of is merged with your life, especially when you take on a cause about empowering women and, disempowering toxic masculinity and all this stuff. Eh, so I don't personally blame him for being scared, and I think Blake's team was equally scared, or maybe not equally, not equally. I think at this point they were kind of calm. They were holding the cards and they're like, "Let's play this one. Let's play this one. Let's play this one." Maybe like there was anger, like why can't we go faster or whatever. I don't know, but this is my opinion. This is what I imagine was happening. Um the negative press was organic, and if anything was planned, I think Sloan and Jennifer, so they could, yeah. I mean, that's what we've seen so far is that Blake's team, Leslie Sloan specifically, was the one that, yeah, not even like before the plane took off, she was saying something to the Daily Mail reporter. And then they leaked the thing, or there was, I don't know. I think there was like another leak. I forget. So yeah. But then Stephanie Jones, sorry, at the same time, in that same like that 10 around that 10 a.m. on August 10th, was it? That was a moment that probably would be like, oh, if we could all take it back right now, on both sides. But it seems like Stephanie Jones had instruction, do not say anything at like 9 o'clock, and she kind of just took it over and did not respect the truth, did not know what was going on, probably didn't even know about the truth. She was not involved, which again, it's not a huge deal when you're running a company. You're not going to know. That's why you entrust people to act on your behalf. And Jennifer was, I think, in charge of the LA office or something. Like that's why you have these satellite managers and etc. He couldn't win either way. Yeah, it's a demoralizing strategy. I'm gonna see if there is a program out there that will pump up the resolution so it's more. Oh yeah. Oh, that's an interest. I didn't think of that. Could be. I don't know. I don't know. I think like those like captcha things, like where's the school bus or whatever. I think even AI can't really crack this. Maybe we need like FBI forensic software or something. I don't even know. Does the FBI, are they the ones that do that, or CIA or whoever, to like figure this one out? What I'm learning about crisis PR stops in is shops that is that there's standard reputational protection, especially with the advent of social media. Yeah. Well, his team was a lot more social media focused. Her team was more like uh, articles, kind of print media, even though it's like online. Um, yeah. Karen Reed case. I don't. The McCabe's deleted their messages on an army base. I wonder with Ryan and Tech, do they have access to such technology? Yeah, I don't know anything about. I've never heard those names. Um, yeah, tell me more in the chat. I'll continue reading and I'll come back. But I'm curious what that. It sounds more, more. I don't know, worthwhile than this in a way. Again, I believe this is worthwhile as a general humanity thing, but you know what I mean, like more legit, more I don't know. Okay, so I'm learning not questioning. She said blank won't talk. She wishes she would. Cast won't talk. Who's blank? Who's blank? I don't think Taylor, right? No. But it's a girl, we know that much. She doesn't care about that. She just cares about Blake looking like poop, and Blake is looking absolutely horrendous. It's helpful for me emotionally to have this info. I know this happened late. I think I can receive voice memos. Can you just send me a voice note walking me through all of this and what this call was? I got cliff notes. Um, and then not in that way. I went day by day to show her we don't play stories. She also knows, she knows our game plan thing. She also knows if I'm going to place a story, I will burn the house down. Yeah. So she has a healthy fear for you, of you. Um, I think burning the house down, I think it's like, the nuclear option in today's world where it's going to burn both of the houses down. And that's what's happening kind of now. So she has a healthy fear of you. Same, just give me a second. She knows the reach I have. She wants Cast and Blank to talk. Who is Blank? If anyone knows, she wants the Cast and Blank to talk, but they won't. Yeah, explain. I have to believe some of them are regretting choosing a side. Um, yes, that's why she outed you as my crisis person. So if you ever do, then she can point to the blank stuff and it looks like I'm hiding. I don't trust her. Oh, that's an interesting take I didn't think of. Yeah. Like, getting ready to go to war kind of like reveal your opponent's leader or like your opponent's weapon. And then it's like, well, okay, that's a bad. I don't know war. I don't know army. I don't know anything. Why am I using that as an analogy? But yeah, that's an interesting point of view that I didn't have. That that's why they leaked that. Like, with okay, maybe I'm saying and I'm not saying it fully, like, with the intention that they were always going to publicly come out about this age. Um, I do wonder. I wonder so much, did they wait on the SH stuff and the complaint so that the movie was out of the way? Were they going to always release that? 'Cause that's what I'm when I'm reading that, I'm like, "Oh, I wonder if they did these little plans or whatever, and to kind of weaken Justin's side, and then boom, throw something that they were going to throw anyways." I don't know. Um, okay, so wait. Yeah, it's bananas. I don't know what is the read case. Do you at least like if you have like a link to an article or something I can read later too. Or I guess I can like you gave me probably enough names to like search for it. Yeah, I don't know any of it. Um, Maybe now I am going to get how people are into murder mysteries, and I'm not, for a number of reasons. Like I don't watch You. Um, that is, yeah, not something I'll ever watch. I think probably. I don't want that to like infuse in my mind and become paranoid about um anyone or anything like that. So I feel like that's why with murder mysteries the same thing, because if you I'm constantly exposed to that, think of that all the time, and most people are not that. So, um, yeah, but with like law cases and stuff, especially if it's something like this, which is interesting because Emily D. Baker was saying that these kind of cases are never publicized, but then like civil cases, but then like criminal cases are. And I'm like, I I even said probably the opposite. I thought it was the opposite. It makes sense, the opposite. Protect victims of criminal cases and all that stuff. But then these things we don't get televised. What's that about? What's about that? I'm talking like some of these text messages. Okay. My social team just flagged there is a new trend because of all of this. Don't watch it from your account. Watch it from a fake one, please. Always a good point. Always. I, I love it. I don't have a fake account. Can people see when I watch? If you think he was a mastermind, this is a good one. Okay. Um you can choose to turn your profile, or sorry, no, this is not. Who is he talking to? Wait. This is Justin. Wait, I'm so confused. I'm so confused. Anyways, so whoever this is, you can choose to turn your profile view history on or off. Wait, but that was wait, when I is that how I sorry, I'm like going to check into my phone. Ah, the landscape games. Yeah. Wait, I'm so confused because it's clearly this is not, the gray is Justin, but it's under his phone. This is so confusing. What is this? What the heck is going on? Okay. Anyways, moving on. But yeah, this has to be him just by the way that, the conversation is going, but it's just so weird. Okay, wait, hold on. I'm so sorry. I feel so embarrassed. This is what happens when you spend hours and hours and hours reading things. It starts to get just nonsensical. Okay, I get it. This is Melissa's phone screenshots. Okay. All right. Wow. Um, I just had a moment. Excuse that. But yeah, so anyway, so this is Justin. So my reaction stands. Like, if you think he's a mastermind, just read that one. He has no idea how this works. You can choose to turn your profile view history on or off. Turning off profile view history means you won't see who has viewed your profile, and others won't see that you viewed theirs, like LinkedIn. Pretty sure it's off. Anyways, four big creators so far are doing parodies. It's spreading. Let's do this. When you land, you, Jen, and I jump on a call and go through all. Every agency has clients in trouble. Every single one. There is not one publicist that can point towards not having one or 10. True. Plus, on a scale of kill stories, they are the only ones that have put out any information, not us. And that is a card that I pulled with Leslie. I left it at last. I left it last night as please come back to us and tell us because we are baffled. We will do whatever it takes to either work with you or protect Justin and the studio if anything wrongly leaked and put out there. But until then, we are not doing anything. I want her to report this back to WME. We have a treasure chest now of items to use. What does WME have anything in this whole thing? We have because he's signed by them, right? So why are they not in direct conversations? When we have a treasure chest now of items to use. Not worried, the adoration of you is vast. Even if you're hired as a publicist that specializes in crisis, everyone knows I also work and help so many people in actual trouble. What's the difference, Melissa? I teach at USC and no skeletons in my closet. Don't worry. And then sends it ends with us cast and crew don't all hate Justin Baldoni, but feud's real. Yeah, Hassan Minaj was the only cast member, right, who didn't. And then like his editors, I don't know. August 14th. Okay, just let's get through these text messages. Nathan receives word from a reporter that Sony chief Tony Vinciquerra made a that's an interesting name I've not heard before. Made a statement about Lively being an advocate for domestic violence with no mention of Baldoni in the piece. That's a blow. Nathan immediately senses Sloane's involvement in this development. However, Abel suggests that it is Reynolds who likely pressured Sony into issuing the statement. There's an extra interview that I was watching last night, and the uh, interviewer was interviewing Colleen Hoover, and it was kind of the same thing. It was I don't know, but it was like the way that things were phrased were very much from Blake Lively's side. So I'm like, wow, she got um not educated, prepped really well. Screenshot. No, really, screenshot, really. Reporter says something. Um something. I will tell you in 2 minutes. Nothing new on Baldoni's side in terms of what didn't happen on set. Blanket Sony gave a comment about Blake being an advocate for DV. He mentions Hoover and other women involved with film. No mention of JB. August 14th. This is probably when they're like trying to like do damage control over the like Blake is not talking about this. So yeah, they're like, well, let's mention, someone that says she's an advocate. Like yeah, she doesn't have to do any work. Someone just has to come on and say she's an advocate and that's all it takes, but she's not actually advocating. Melissa, oh, that's completely something. But thank you so much for the something. Melissa Nathan, working hard. Jennifer Abel. So Sony speaking to press. Oh, that was a screenshot. Okay. So Sony is speaking to press on Blake's behalf. I have no idea who Blake is. This is me being nice to the reporter, obviously, but yes. Jamie would should know that Sony is speaking to media on Blake's behalf. It would enrage him that they are supporting her and not Justin. And same with Justin's agent. Oh, there was that text message. Yeah. That like, well, at least they're saying something nice about her or something. I forget. I just got off the phone with him, but I hadn't told him because it came through just as after I put the phone down. And this is the article. Sony chief praises Blake Lively for advancing the conversation around DV. Where was she advancing it? I'm sorry to yell, but it's just really like I just gets very angry. I just gets very angry. I just get very angry. Like up to this point, she was saying nothing about DV. She was talking about Betty Booze and Betty Buzz and her hair care and that not even that, honestly. I didn't even see that much of that, just a little bit, but just talking so much about flowers and girlfriends and this is a big summer movie and this is about empowerment and all this stuff. Where was advancing the conversation? There was no advancing of the conversation. And the Sony chief praises Blake Lively. He's not going to go too well. His life is not going to go too well, like his career. This right now, after all this, this is fully Ryan Reynolds putting pressure. So I'm not supposed to know this, but yes, that's exactly what happened. Um, oh, so she had inside information. Is that Jen? Yeah. Of course. I think we need to use your personal email. Or is there a Wayfair one you can use? Ooh. For what? That's like the cliffhanger. August 14th, organic articles come out in response to Lively's promotion of the film. And then all of these articles. Blake Lively dragged for making light of DV. People are disgusted by Blake Lively's cutesy press tour for It Ends With Us. Blah, blah. I don't know. Why is everyone mad at Blake Lively? Fans are not impressed with Blake Lively's press tour. More organic articles, August 16th. I mean, yes, they were organic articles. I think, I don't think people are saying they're not. I think the idea is like who started the plant, and but around this, no one did. This was absolutely just not anything like, not, no side said this as far as we know to this point. But the tension on set, did that help these come out? I don't think so. I mean, it was just bad. I think the fans are the ones that were like, hold up. Um, it ends with us promo has failed them, DV survivors like me. August 16th, Nathan receives a message from a reporter about a story from the Daily Mail. Could Blake Lively be canceled? Nathan, realizing that the article could give the impression of having been planted by her, laments, and I'll just go into it. The Mail is going nuts. This is unfair because it's also not me. Everything now looks like it's me. Maybe not to you. The reporter is like, no, it totally does look like his side. Um, Omitted from Lively's complaint. The keyboard? Did they go that far? No. The screenshot, it was omitted from Lively's complaint. So it was the keyboard. I like how this is so like, we need some younger people to create these screenshots for these lawsuits. This is okay. So they represented it as without the keyboard. Is that necessary? Or did they kind of, oh, wait, did they include that as if it wasn't the reporter and it was Jen saying that? Is that what? Because I think that's how it. I remember it. It was kind of like this combination. Um, RR has a project with Sony Pictures called Animal Friends, so uh, Blake and Ryan used that to get Sony on their side. How did they use that? Um, hmm? Are they talking about Tree Pain, Taylor's PR maybe? Oh, maybe. But no, I think they're talking about crew, so it has to be someone in the cast or around. I don't think it's another publicist or anything like that. It could be. I have to reread these documents. I'm recalling Ryan reaching out to TJ Miller on and Wesley Snipes. Did he have a beef with Wesley Snipes too? What was that? I didn't read anything about that. I'm gonna make a note of that. Even though I'm bothering my parakeet because she's sleeping on the keyboard and then she gets mad at me. Um, okay. Um, I'll figure that one out. That's interesting. But yeah, and animal friends. Um, but yeah, so hmm, that's interesting. I don't remember. But yeah, it was something. I don't know. Yeah. Anyways, August. Did I miss something? No. August 18th. Baldoni again asks Nathan to confirm this is not us, correct? Excuse me. Baldoni was seeing the feud rumors and could not believe how much heat Lively was getting. Nathan reassured him that none of us would ever do this. There is the struggle where it's kind of maybe even unbelievable the way that people are turning against her. It was organic. She's blown herself up by her own actions, which is, what we saw with, his complaint coming out, and then everyone was like, whoa, we're leading this way, and more and more and more. And her side, her PR or legal or whoever was like, "Oh, they're still see, they're still planting things, they're still seeding, there's still a smear campaign, I think is what they said in their like protection order filing. And everyone's like, I'm not hired by these people. I can tell you, me personally, I don't even have any kind of insider connection on anything. It's just me. Um and just watching other people and reading and watching these, and I think all of us, a lot of us, some of us are influenced by what we're seeing and what people say, of course, and we're influenced by our own biases, of course. But I think it's the same thing, the heat that she's getting, she's not realizing that it's organic. If someone plants something, as they planted about Justin, if it's not like, it's kind of like, if it doesn't have grip, it will slide right off, or maybe not right off, but and in this case it's a lot more than, it's I'm not talking about her complaint, I'm talking about the whole like media coverage of Justin in a negative light. Like, it just doesn't have where to stick. um when things come out, at least, like, yeah. Oh gosh, I just said gush. I did not mean to do that. So, um, this is not us, correct? Assuming the guy we brought in who would never do this. This is Judd Wallace, which they brought in pretty late too. So, none of us would ever do this. Also, no one even pays any attention to this person. Oh, they took Perez Hilton out. They took his screenshot out. Um, He's not relevant. He does not create a news headline. He does not get picked up. He's just now a troll. However, the thing though with Melissa and everyone, that everyone should learn, whether on Blake's side, on Justin's side, on any PR firm or wherever, is you can be no one. Although I would say Perez Hilton is definitely not no one. But you can be a troll. You can, but if they say something, whoever, if it's a nobody or somebody, if someone says something and there's something to that, even though the truth might be the opposite, but there's like, ooh, that sounds like something's there behind that comment, it will spread. People will investigate, especially after now. After this, I feel like we're all going to be like, any story will be questioned, like about anyone almost, which maybe that's like a great thing about this, and hopefully spreads into politics on all sides of politics, all sides. Okay, there is not one outlet that would cover anything he said or take things seriously. I forget what he said. Um, and then unearthed Blake Lively interview, show her use slur for trans people. Um, Yeah, she used blackface also, that came out. Mm, I didn't really see that until more recently. She used not on oh my gosh, not on, I don't know if this makes it worse or better. I'm not sure. I'm still learning so much about, this country's history and that. But she used it to stalk a boyfriend or like a guy that she liked or something, so he wouldn't recognize her, which I think just says a lot about a lot. All of that. Um, the content creators are on fire, and Justin, she has handed it to them on a plate. Now she definitely has. She just concentrate on the success of the movie, blah blah. Um, you did not do any of these. We did not do any of these. That's all organic. Justin, crazy. Stupid, really stupid. Something, something, something. Oh, my high school got into a text messaging. Great. That was so random. I'm not going to give more money just because now you're using text messages to ask for it. A good one to boost. And then yeah. other things. Oh, that's so nice. I will send across to team. That's cool. Yeah. Didn't see that one. Angela Yang, Blake Lively's It Ends With Us promotion called disrespectful by some survivors of abuse on August 19th. So one thing I want to say is like I feel like most stories that were positive didn't really pick up. It says a lot about us. We like the negative stuff, right? So whether it's about Blake or about Justin, if it's negative, people will click on more and be interested more than, oh, my experience. Well, this is also, I don't know, maybe not the best. That's why people use clickbait, not the best title, but like if it says, I loved working with this person, I loved Blake, I loved Justin, or whatever, they were so respectful. It's like, okay, cool. Unless until like it gets to this point, but at that point, especially. Um, Blake Lively's It Ends With Us promotion called disrespectful by some survivors of DA. August 19th, Jonesworks chief of staff promises to release Abel's phone number to her. I did read this one. I don't remember where I read this one. Did I read this one? Yeah. Oh, this was in the amended version of the complaint. Okay. August 20th, more organic negative press. Arwa Mahdawi. Sorry, Blake Lively using a movie about domestic DV to sell stuff is not a good look. In the Guardian. August 21, 2024, 2 days before her last day, Abel pulls up to the Joneswork office in Beverly Hills, and she gets confronted by a physically imposing security guard. Sometimes, again, this uh, the flowery language in some of this just makes me really cringe. But yeah, just to make a point, cool lawyer language. But again, I read that on part one. But yeah, I read all of the details. She gets intimidated to hand over her phone, promise to get her phone number back because it's her personal phone number, but then they just ghost her. And they also go through her personal laptop. They don't find anything, blah, 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 blah. Okay. August 21, on the same day that Abel's phone is seized by her employer, Stephanie Jones, Nathan receives a call from Leslie Sloan, Lively's publicist, telling her that she has seen her texts and that she will be sued. And this is Stephanie and Jones work. Steph, this is Jen Abel, my new cell. I'm writing to you both as a personal plea. Yeah, because things were tied up. Her medical, like access to medical files and all sorts were tied up. Um, Baldoni sends Nathan a suspicious profile, suspecting it of trolling Lively. Nathan confirms that 100% this is not anyone from your team whatsoever. On August 23rd, we don't see. I get so many of these. Okay, I am no one, right? I don't even know how many people I have on Instagram. 100 people, maybe. Oh, 200, 208. Actually, I think I had 212 at one point, and it just keeps going down. I don't have anyone, and I get so many of these on my stories, watching my stories. Um, I think in like messages, I don't really go into like those messages. It's everywhere. It's so annoying. It is so annoying. But yeah, this is an example of someone trolling Blake on all my posts, but doesn't seem like a real account. Yeah, because it's not. Yet it also could be an actual troll as they exist too. But yes, 100%. But this is not anyone from your team whatsoever. They assured him of that. Nathan's tag team continues to see organic backlash towards Lively without the involvement of tag. The article in question, Blake Lively fearing for her career amid IT, it ends with us backlash, August 24th. Um, she did not. well, maybe I guess she did fear enough. Um, God, I'm so over this. I'm sure Leslie thinks we placed this one as well. This is someone from the tag team. Yep, same. Is that a sheep emoji over there? Or like the poodle? The poodle. Um, August 27th, Nathan further reassures Baldoni that everyone I speak to and so many just chats that don't even know I'm on this all are pro you. I know that's not your intention either to make her or anyone an outcast, but the sentiment is pro you. Baldoni responds, "Thank you for sharing and praying for Lively and Reynolds has been helpful. Praying for them has been helpful." Has it, Justin? Has it? It doesn't seem like any prayers could save them at this point. I'm like they were going against his prayers. They were doing so much that they were going against any positive energy out there. Um it's all we can do truly. Well, I mean, yeah, it's the safest thing to do. Anything that he would have said pro against that was not going to matter. August 30th, I mean, it was just too much to like say as we see. There's just like you can't just like have a summary of all of this. Um, August 30th, the internet continues to churn out new stories. Baldoni asks Nathan how she feels and if she shares any concerns. Nathan reassures him that there was no truth to anything, so what can they say? Just speculative BS. I'm not worried, and I promise you. All right, so gosh, no, no, it's fine. It's good. Stay all across. We're all messaging, but thank you for asking. It's good to stay all across over. Okay. Justin, how are you feeling about this? The truth hasn't come out yet. Seems to be getting more pickup now. Do you have any concerns or anything we should be worried about? I know that both my wife and I are both feeling like they could definitely be up some to something over there. People who are saying like Emily probably told him, "Hey, keep those receipts." I feel like it's time to keep those receipts. But yeah, I feel like this is so normal. How many times do we see this all the time? Like there has to like the truth hasn't come out yet. There's more to this. We see this with everything. Everything. The only difference was that um Blake Lively's team, as far as we see, did not want to drop it because it was going away. And she's like, "Nope, CRT complaint. Gotta say that because just gotta annihilate this guy." Um, Melissa Nathan, I'm not feeling any type of way. I think people are still looking because it became such a gigantic story, but there is absolutely nothing else they can do. They have missed every timing opportunity to do it. We also know there was no truth to anything, so what can they say? Just continue speculative BS. Where am I? Well, I guess we just like skip over to something else. Anything, not even how are you feeling? It if I felt you were in danger for anything minor, I would tell you, I'm not shy. Emoji. I think it has a lot to do with all the worry you felt previously for sure, but people have moved on and she looks absolutely horrendous. I can't even think what her next move will be. It would have to be some positive movie news or a new announcement for a new hair mask. If only Melissa. It's a really good sign that no one media side has come to even ask anything. But if I hear anything, I promise to let you know. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I just know her personality, and this is the kind of person that genuinely believes she's right. Oh, and that all of this is unjust. She fully does, I know it. So those people seek justice at any cost. The the resounding text message. That's why I just don't, I just have a hard time believing she's done, but trusting you and grateful for you. You were so right, Justin. You were so on this. You you knew because you worked with this person. You went through all the stuff that we now know. He's so new. It's like, trust your gut. These PR people, they were doing a great job, but they weren't there with you in the 2 years. Maybe it should have been kind of, I don't know how much he briefed them on it, and maybe, like, he was trying to, be careful because, who are these people too? But maybe it should be kind of like legals. The confidentiality clause and stuff that, lawyers have, excuse me, and maybe it should be like that, so PR can really protect you and really understand. But yeah, isn't this like just highlighted text? I want to read it again. This is Justin saying, after Melissa is like, I think it's dying down. She looks bad. She'll have to like come up with some positive news. It's going to be okay. He's like, and it's maybe because of what you've been through that, you're extra vigilant about. And he's like, "Okay, thank you. Yeah, I just know her personality, and this is the kind of person that genuinely believes she's right and that all of this is unjust. So those people seek justice at any cost, like the personal justice, what they feel is justice. That's why I just have a hard time believing she's done. I wonder if he went back to Melissa. See, what did I what did I tell you on, what was it? August 30th? What did I tell you? 6 months or 5 months, wait. September, October, November, December. Yeah, 4 months. Not even 6 months, 4 months after. September 1st, Nathan reveals to Baldoni that she finally watched the film in theaters. She shares a touching message with Baldoni. He also shares the personal story that inspired him to direct the movie and ultimately optioned the book. Ironically, it was this story that Lively chose to use against him later in her list of 17 points when she required that there be no discussion with Miss Lively of personal experiences with, as my thought says, Schmecks. In her complaint, she intentionally misrepresents the story. This is September 1st. To suggest that Baldoni had engaged in this conduct without consent. In fact, it was the other way around. Baldoni was referencing an intimate relationship in which he was the one who did not give consent, not the other way around. Like, he was kind of basically coerced in giving consent, which is something that people don't often, I don't hear that much talk. It's like you give consent, refuse to receive it or whatever, but the coercion of like making someone eventually consent is not a big conversation, but maybe it was around the Me Too movement conversations. Um, I'm not going to read this respectfully, respectfully to them. I just, I have, I don't know, 10 more pages or something. I can't. My brain just refuses. It's like running away. My eyes could probably run away if they could from this. We're like, Arena, don't force us to read this. um, Justin Baldwin. I feel like there should be a compilation on the web of all of us creators that have tried to read these text messages and all our reactions, like that reaction that I just had, like, just compiled. That should be a meme. I don't know if that's how meme works, but yeah. Anyways, something something amazing or something. Justin Baldoni, thank you, Melissa. Means so much that you want to watch it despite all of the drama. It's sad because this is probably the thing. Anyways, this is, I guess, um I want to know. P, yeah. You don't have to, but if you do find a way, if there is a software out there that can like decipher these hieroglyphs, I would deeply appreciate it. The whole internet would appreciate it. Um, I wonder because he's like, well, the reality is that that's what happened to me. That's why I designed it this way. What? Why and how abuse can who what? It's like sometimes I zoom in, zoom out, I move my head because sometimes I can figure it out. I'm curious. I'm so curious what that was. Like was it I don't know. Okay, when I was 20, this is Justin. When I was 20, I lost my virginity to my emotionally abusive girlfriend in a non-consensual way. And when I was 35, I started remembering. I struggle with the memories and not thinking it was what happened, or thinking that it was my fault or that I wanted it, which is a story so many people relate to, especially in these cases where you feel pressure to give consent even though you don't. And he talks about it in a book. I actually talked about it in the one video, 3 4 videos ago. Exactly this, like, um you yeah you convince yourself like I must have wanted it. It's the main conversation around this has been throughout the world around women dressing a certain way and people saying, well, she was asking for it because she was dressed this way. And there's more nuances to that. And that's like opening the conversation of, was she? I don't think so. That's a you problem. That's not a her problem. Um, and but yeah, like this yeah, this is really sad. So I was trying to figure, and it's sadder because like the when you're when you're like stuffing something down because you can't let it come out, not just because of your own conscious and emotional self that would be devastated by it, but because society will not believe you, which is like the whole conversation, right? This is the conversation that Blake kind of turned for her own sake. But yeah, when you're stuffing something down as a man, there's so many things that men stuff down because they wouldn't be believed because they're men, and he talks about this. They wanted, I don't believe that he didn't want it or whatever. That would be probably the first thing that many people would think when they're even reading this part. So I was trying to figure out how to, this is back to his text. I was trying to figure out how to make this movie work. That's how the memories came into being. Ooh, the book did not have any of that. Ironically, when I told that to Blake, that wasn't one of the things that she put in her list against me. And we see with the WME, statement or whatever the statement that he was supposed to read, they took his words, kind of did a little bit of something to them, and then put them like, okay, you say this to the world. I'm really sorry what happened to you. I grew up, and this is Jen's personal story. As you get older, you realize something different things at different times. So I understand your post. Um, that's so sad. Like, that's so sad. I'm saying that also because I remember in the video that we covered yesterday, or a video that I saw after, that she kind of took ownership of this, of how, yeah, it was last night's video, the panel on Book Bonanza. And again, I wish I could read what exactly he was responding to. Of that's why I designed it that way. I want to say that it's like okay, so this is like complete speculation because it's in here but I can't read what this is. um but I wonder if he's referring to because what I noticed about the film that was really cool to see is that this Lily was not this, fragile wallflower, um just shy person. She was, you know in her power to a certain extent, and she was a new business owner. She, Blake put her in all these clothes. Like I did like that part when she was walking into the party, and she took over, she seduced him, all this stuff. And, but then she said no. And Ryle, Lily's character, and Ryle was like, okay. And then threw her like some pajama top or bottom or something, and whatever, and they just slept. And she's like, what? So I wonder if they're talking about that, of this like, okay, cool, you say no now, but you'll say yes later kind of idea. And also this idea that the person can have agency and yet still find herself or himself, in Justin's case, in the situation where the boundary gets crossed. um and oh gosh, I sorry for all the other stuff that came with that. That's like one tidbit of I think he said 2-year relationship or something. That was like, yeah, that's so sad. Um, then moved on to wow, and I cried a lot. I can't believe that was a point against you. I just can't believe it. Either way, I want to explore this story near streaming time. It was really bloody clever what you did, and I didn't expect it. I want to know. I'm sorry. You, the audience, does not deserve my anger. This is stupid. Like, what is this? What is this? Maybe I'll spend off screen time just like studying that and like filling in. I'll print it and I'll start getting my like analog game going. Thank you so much and for sharing that. I'm sorry that happened to you too. Appreciate you so much. Would love that. If you watch the No More podcast, I did talk about it. And he talks about it's a whole chapter in his book. Well, a part of his one chapter in his book, Man Enough. I'm going to listen to it on the flight to Santa Fe tomorrow. Thank you, but that's why we raise our kids differently. Oh, that's so cute. Excuse me, 42 minutes or so in when I join, it's the first question they ask me. Amazing. Thank you for sending to me. He didn't even like say, give her the link, like, hey, for the views, promote our podcast or whatever. He sent her like the file, like, I don't know. I think that's cool. Um, Justin, any concerns about drama? I see that the truth will not come out yet, but it will. Has not come out, right? Seems going around. Melissa, wait, Melissa or Jen? Forget who's Melissa. Not one concern, honestly. Okay. Heart and prayer or thank you. Hope you guys are having a beautiful time away. Day one, very grateful. Thanks, friend XO. Anytime. Right. September 8th, Baldoni sends a text to his original editors, hopeful that one day they will complete the film as intended. And we read this in the past. Incredible. That's the best news because he says the amount of women who feel seen that is reaching people all over the world, that men are remembering their own traumas and having conversations with their partners. I wish, again, I will stand by this. I wish that part that about the men being encouraged through this movie to remember their own traumas and having conversations with their partners or with their friends, with their family members, with trusted people, with therapists, with clergy, whoever they trust to open up about this. Like, oh my gosh, I've been doing some really bad things and I don't know how to do differently or whatever. I want that movie as much as I think there should be 2 movies though, because it's like there's Lily's story and that's important, and I think there's like Ryle's story and I think that's really important because I love this idea of taking away the blame from the victim and how she can empower herself in this dual, gender role, and talking about how the perpetrator in this situation scenario can empower the victim, can like empower themselves to stop, to end with this person, to end with the perpetrator. And that was stolen from this movie. And I don't blame Blake on this. I think this started with the story itself. I haven't read the book, but I think the book too was mainly around this character, this female character, and it was about this female point of view, as Justin said. And I think there is a way to do it where it creates empathy for the man, like see what you're putting, your partner through. Excuse me, but um I don't know. I feel like there's just so much to explore this topic that is just so valuable into the conversation that creates real advancement, because the conversation so far has been around the victim. Why are they not leaving? How can we help them leave, et cetera, which is valid. But like, I look forward to whoever, and I think Justin, um well, I don't know that he's the best person to say this, unless he's, I don't know, but for sure his support, he would know, because he's talked with so many men on his in his journey with redefining masculinity and stuff, and he would know who the right person is, if it's not him, to create the story, to um share the story. But that's a very important story. um December 20th. Oh, we're so close. 10 more pages. December 20th. Lively files her complaint with the California Civil Rights Department. December 20th, also. Megan Tui, or Tauhi, Tohei. And I say this because every time there's someone on the radio here, a long time ago at least, that was this name. And so I'm like, I don't want to, every time I say it, I feel like I'm talking about that person, and I'm not trying to. A reporter for the New York Times reached out to Wayfair about allegations made by Lively related to a filed CRD complaint. Please offer any on the record, sorry, any on the record comment, as well as any other information you think we should know. Additionally, please notify us of any inaccuracies. We need to hear back from you tomorrow by noon Eastern. So this is the email from Megan to Jennifer Abel, I guess. Yeah. Miss Abel, we are reporting about a crisis communication operation conducted. Sorry, hold on. My brain got ahead of, or I don't know, my mouth got ahead of me. We are reporting about a crisis communication operation conducted on behalf of Justin Baldoni, Jamie Heath, and Wayfair Studios to protect their reputations and harm Blake Lively's, as described in a legal complaint filed today. Our reporting found that you participated in the effort, which was undertaken last summer out of concern that complaints Miss Lively had made during the film of It Ends With Us would become public during the movie's rollout. Really quick pause. Them saying, we're reporting about a crisis, or whatever, as described in a legal complaint filed today, I feel like is masking that. I think that's why the metadata of no, they knew this for at least a week is important, because they didn't just find this complaint, like, oh, look, this has been filed, guys, let me see. Um, Even though like it's not illegal to like corroborate with people, I guess. I don't know. I just feel like that shouldn't be that should be not okay. We have learned that Miss Lively filed a legal complaint against you, Mr. Baldoni, Mr. Heath, Steve Sarowitz, Wayfair, Melissa Nathan, and Jed Wallace, alleging SH retaliation and aiding and abetting of harassment and retaliation, among other claims. This complaint claims misconduct on the part of Mr. Baldoni and Mr. Heath during filming, including repeatedly violating physical boundaries and making um, dismissal and other inappropriate comments. The complaint includes a side letter to her contract signed by Mr. Heath, in which the studio agreed to install more safeguards during filming and agreed not to retaliate against Miss Lively. She's now saying they violated the terms of the letter. The complaint includes extensive private text messages and emails that she obtained through a subpoena, and that document in the Christ. We have not seen the subpoena order either, right? I don't know that we will ever, but questioning it. She obtained that through a subpoena. She obtained through a subpoena, and that document the crisis communication operation. They include exchanges. Interesting. They include exchanges involving you, your team, Mr. Baldoni, and Mr. Heath. The New York Times reviewed these along with other documents. We are seeking your response to the claims of retaliation through this PR campaign, and we would welcome the opportunity to talk with you on the record. Please offer any on the record comment, as well as any other information you think we should know. Additionally, please notify us of any inaccuracies. We need to hear back from you tomorrow by noon Eastern. Among Miss Lively's allegations, in May, did she attach? Wait, do we see? Oh no, they just like kind of wrote it in there. Okay. Among Miss Lively's allegations, in May, several months after filming Rap, Mr. Baldoni was worried worried when he realized that Ryan Reynolds had blocked him on Instagram. We should have a plan for if she does the same when movie comes out. Mr. Baldoni wrote you in a text message. Plans make me feel more at ease. Yes. Okay. You were already working as a publicist for Mr. Baldoni and Wayfair. Mr. Baldoni and Mr. Heath hired Melissa Nathan, a crisis communication specialist, who in turn brought in Mr. Wallace. The plan was to harm Miss Lively's reputation. Miss Nathan shared a planning document in early August describing options to pursue if Miss Lively or her team went public with complaints about Mr. Baldoni's and Mr. Heath's behavior. She suggested talking points to use with the reporters, including them Miss Lively used an imbalance of power to take creative control of the film. Mr. Baldoni wanted more. You wrote to Miss Nathan, I think you guys need to be tough and show the strength of what you guys can do in these situations. He wants to feel like she can be buried. That was not the best text. We all can admit that one. Miss Nathan responded, of course, but you know, when we send over documents, we can't send over the work we will or could do because that could get us in a lot of trouble. We can't write it down to him. We can't write, we will destroy her. Imagine if a document saying all the things and that he wants ends up in the wrong hands. You know, we can bury anyone, she added, but I can't write that to him. Um, yeah, 3 days later, Mr. Baldoni texted you, flagging a social media thread that accused another celebrity of bullying behavior and that had generated 19 million views. Mr. Baldoni wrote, this is what we would need. And now we know a little bit of the different context of the different point of view of how that could be taken as well. A lot of these, but um, it's interesting because they even said, you know, like, you hired someone in preparation to defend yourself. And then these are the things that you were saying in preparation to defend yourself. um, Anyways, Miss Nathan presented proposals to hire contractors to dominate social media through full social account takedowns, by starting thread of theories and generally working to change narrative. We haven't seen that from either side, right? We haven't seen this point that she was like propose like she had like she's like, oh, I'm looking through people to dominate social media through these things. I don't know. You wrote to Miss Nathan, I think we need to put the social combat plan into motion, and she responded, so do I. The team were They didn't write when this happened. The team worked to block stories about Mr. Baldoni's behavior that had concerned Miss Lively and reinforced negative ones about the actress. The press coverage probing Mr. Baldoni's separation from Miss Lively and the rest of the cast was largely vague and didn't include the most serious allegations against Mr. Baldoni. Oh, is that not what what PR does and crisis PR, but even just regular PR? You're saying that Blake Lively didn't alter stories? Please. Miss Nathan texted you. He doesn't realize how lucky he is, how we need to press on him, just how effing lucky. Um, which now we know so much more about was about Jamie, and yeah, see part two, I think, of that. The whispering in the ear of these connotations, like Jesus effing Christ, other members feeling uncomfortable watching it. I mean, there's just so much. Miss Nathan indicated that she succeeded in keeping allegations against you out of stories and wrote in one text that major news outlets were standing down on HR complaint. You wrote to Miss Nathan, "So are we in the clear now? Did we survive?" And she responded, "We survived. All press is so overwhelming. We've confused people so much, mixed messaging. It's actually really funny if you think about it." You wrote to Miss Nathan, "So are we in the clear now? Did we survive?" And she responded, "We sur." This is the same thing. Under the, the official promotion plan, Miss Lively focused on the uplifting nature of the film rather than abuse. When a PR team saw that critics accused her of being tone deaf, the group decided that Mr. Baldoni would highlight survivors of DV. There are references and emails to social manipulation and proactive fan posting. Now, that's the other one is why I think they included Jamie's message to them. "Hey guys, we're seeing this. Can you and your team, can you tell Blake, etc., to like maybe mention DV, maybe like, you know, do a little bit of that because it's not looking good for her." There are references in emails to social manipulation and proactive fan posting and text messages cite efforts, excuse me, to boost and amplify online content that was favorable to Mr. Baldoni or critical of Miss Lively. Honestly, I again also don't see much wrong, not wrong. It's all kind of wrong because it's all manipulation, but like I this is I don't know, it just when I read that, it's like, okay, so but I think that's why she's, like, bringing the SH because otherwise she couldn't say, "Well, they were just, defending themselves, making me look bad, and I was defending myself and making them look bad." No, it's like, "No, they're retaliating against me because of, not speaking up about this," and that's the thing, because she's claiming that this whole smear campaign was so she would not speak out against SH allegations, but she never did. So what were they what you're claiming that they were retaliating against you to or intimidating you to not speak out about it, but didn't. You didn't want to do that publicly. You wanted to hold that and use that if it happened at all. Um Miss Nathan sent you a comment from Mr. Wallace that we are crushing it on Reddit. Oh. The next day, one of her employees texted, "We've also started to see a shift on social due largely to Jed and his team's effort to shift the narrative." Miss Nathan wrote to you, "And socials are really, really ramping up in his favor. She must be furious. It's actually sad because it just shows you how you have people really want to hate on women." Um, I don't think this was a hate women thing personally. I really don't think this was a hate women thing. I think it was very Blake Lively. I think it was specifically women who and again, I don't think women, but I think it came from that triggered space of like, there are women who are not friends with women, like not friends with women, like they don't have women friends, but they're not friends and allies to women. They're not they use they weaponize things like that and it's just for themselves and I think it was just a her issue. It wasn't women. When a TikTok sleuth started, I mean, people were hating him too. I don't know, before this complaint it was quite even, I would say. When a TikTok sleuth started asking questions about Mr. Baldoni, you texted that we flagged to Judd and his team for more serious action on social side. You wrote to Miss Nathan, "The narrative online is so freaking good and fans are still sticking up for Justin and there literally has been no pickup of those two articles, which is actually shocking to me. But I see this as a total success. So does Justin. You did such amazing work." Miss Nathan responded, Narrative is crazy good. So did you. The majority of socials are so pro Justin, and I don't even agree with half of them." Mr. Baldoni periodically looked for assurances that the crisis team was not deploying bots. Ms. Nathan wrote that they were not using bots and that Mr. Wallace's operation is is doing something very specific in terms of what they do. I know Jamie and Judd connected on this. On August 16th, when Miss Nathan shared a Daily Mail article headline, "Is Blake Lively set to be canceled?" You responded, "Wow, you really outdid yourself with this piece." And Miss Nathan wrote, "That's why you hired me. I'm the best, right? I'm the best." The manipulated media coverage and online commentary became an unusually high percentage of Miss Lively's online presence. She was branded tone deaf, difficult to work with, a bully. Sales of her new hair care line plummeted. Sincerely, Megan. So that was their thing. At 2:16 a.m. and I criticized them for this because they included the text but not the screenshot of the email. But Wayfair's representative responds to the journalist and unequivocally denied Lively's accusations. It is shameful that Miss Lively and her representatives would make such serious and categorically false accusations against Baldoni. Wayfair Studios, sorry, that was a comma. Wayfair Studios and its representatives as yet another desperate attempt to fix her negative reputation, which was garnered from her own remarks and actions during the campaign for the film. Interviews and press activities that were observed publicly in real time and unedited, which allowed for the internet to generate their own views and opinions. These claims are completely false, outrageous, and intentionally salacious, with an intent to publicly hurt and rehash a narrative in the media. Wayfair Studios made the decision to proactively hire a crisis manager prior to the marketing campaign of the film to work alongside their own representative with Jones Works, employed by Stephanie Jones, due to the multiple demands and threats made by Miss Lively during production, which included her threatening to not showing up to set, threatening to not promote the film, ultimately leading to its demise during release if her demands were not met. And this is where people were like, well, it wasn't a demise, but what he meant was, the person was, it would have led to the demise of the during release if she would have done this, if her demands were not met. It was also discovered that Miss Lively enlisted her own representative, Leslie Sloan, with Vision PR, much better PR name, firm name, who also represents Mr. Reynolds, to plan negative and completely fabricated and false stories with media, even prior to any marketing had commenced that had commenced for the film, which was another reason why Wayfair Studios made the decision to hire a crisis professional to commence internal scenario planning in the case they needed to address. The representatives of Wayfair Studios still did nothing proactive nor retaliated, and only responded to incoming media inquiries to ensure balanced and factual reporting and monitored social activity. What is pointedly missing from the cherry picked correspondence is the evidence that there were no proactive measures taken with media or otherwise, just internal scenario planning and private correspondence to strategize, which is standard operating procedure with public relations professionals. So I feel like, and this they say this was at 2:16 a.m. Response. I feel like that is, what else do they want? Why are they being criticized for, like, oh well, you didn't respond enough, you didn't say that, you just said they were false and that's it. If this is truly what they sent and not, revisionist, um I mean, especially this part, like, what is pointedly missing from the cherry picked correspondence is the evidence that there were no proactive measures taken. Like, they call them out. I can see now why they're like, no, we do need to, we might have a case against the New York Times, which everyone says that it's so highly unlikely they will win. But they're like, we pointed these things out. Like, we couldn't, draft a whole thing that the other team spent weeks on or months on. Sure. But yeah, I definitely can understand a lot more why, like, yeah, 12 hours wasn't enough. They would need to work overnight, because also it was like at night that they received that, right? She sent it, the email, sorry, at 6:46 p.m., not even 5 p.m. or something, but send that. And then Ex yeah. December 21 at 10:11 a.m. on December 21st, almost 2 hours before the deadline given by TUI and for plaintiff's response. I know, she's upset with me. She's like, "You're always on this computer talking to no one." The Times published the article entitled "We Can Bury Anyone Inside a Hollywood Smear Machine." I mean, part of me is glad this article came out. One, because we see so much that we wouldn't have seen, and this would have gone unchecked in the Hollywood world. That maybe, hopefully, will be checked a little bit more as far as like the control part. But um, it's a catchy. I mean, it's a catchy article name. Baldoni 30 on December 31st, Baldoni and team file lawsuit against the New York Times. That same day, Lively files lawsuit against Baldoni and team. Like this, her CRD complaint becomes a lawsuit. January 7th, Lively attempts to serve Baldoni and team during the Los Angeles wildfires, going as far as to serve a member of Baldoni's team while they attempted to evacuate with their small child. January 16th, Baldoni and team files suit against Lively, Reynolds, Sloan, and Vision PR. January 24th, discovery is made that the main imagery used in the article has metadata, creations timestamps days prior to publication. The main Baldoni image that headlines the article was finalized on December 16th. Um, Additional smear Baldoni imagery existing within the article. I mean, this is just a picture of him on my birthday too. How dare they? Um, January 26th. It is a term. I actually had a dream about my birthday. That's so interesting. I literally had a dream. Like, we went to the Museum of Natural History, which I used to be my favorite, and I haven't been to in so long. I I literally had a dream about that. What does that mean? Does that mean anything? Last night I woke up with that dream. December 26th, it is determined that the promotional video for the Lively Smear campaign article was finalized on December 12th. Um, that is probably even more. The video preload static imagery for promotion inside the article itself was created on December 17th. Oh, interesting. How do they know it's December 12th for the video then? The schema for the video page also confirms a December 12th finalization and upload date. Wow, so much. Thank you for highlighting. Okay. Video, this, that. Okay. The file doesn't include that, but it's interesting. I mean, it's so clear though. I mean, December 12th, they made a video for the podcast that what was released just recently, right? Like, right? Was was the video on there originally? I thought the video was like after. It was like currently or something. I don't know, maybe not. January 27th, the Wayfarer parties found 41 instances of on October 31st, 2024 timestamp related to text message storage and styling into BirdKit, which are believed to be the content management system for the Times. On information and belief, the 2024 1031 does not correspond to the message embed generator versioning itself, but rather when they may have been embedded into the CMS for future use in the article. Previous articles show a similar pattern. So Dobbs Row abortion stories article was mentioned. It was published on October 17th with WordKit's timestamps for the text message August 9th. New York Times, Tucker Carlson text message witness, yeah, was published on May 3rd with WordKit timestamp for the text April 14th. So it's like this is kind of how long it usually takes them. Is that what they're sharing? That it takes them about a month prior to releasing the article to like formulate the article and put. They know it's coming. I guess that's what they're saying, right? Good morning. Um, Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. It's been it's been a tough road. I don't know how long you've been here, but if you've caught any of the text messaging of like just the blurriness and the last one, I just am so furious about because it's important to the story, to the relevancy of like his story with DV or like well not DV but like consent, him being unable to actually not give consent and being pressured into that, Baldoni meaning, and all this stuff, and how what he put in the movie to reflect that or from that personal experience and stuff. I really wish I could find that out, but yeah. But welcome, hi. Um and yeah, also let me know how to say your name. I've been kind of avoiding because I think you had mentioned like you've been very anxious about sharing. So just give me like a code name or something when I reference you. But yeah, okay, so January 28th, it is confirmed that the PDF version of the CRD filed by Lively was indexed on New York Times domain on December 10th. This does not necessarily represent the first time that the file was indexed by Google, just that it was indexed on this date. In order to actually determine the first indexation, data would be required from the New York Times Google Search Console account. Um, so this would be a subpoena, is my understanding, right? I don't know. Or is that what they did? Is the query performed to find the PDF in Google? This shows all subdomain and main website results that reference Baldoni. And this was Lively brings this action to hold Wayfair and its leaders, Mr. Baldoni, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah. um, January 29th, after performing Jason or whatever, I know that just brings like coding memories. After performing a deeper analysis, the following was found. The JSON, or however you pronounce it, schema exposes the smear promo imagery was set for consumption at the end web page level on December 18th, 2024. In the highlighted imagery, there is a reference to smear promo Google, which means that object's imagery was intended to be consumed, most likely as either Google News direct feed or as a Google AdWords ad unit. There are also multiple versions of these images. The version 2 and version 3 suggest they went through multiple iterations before arriving at what could be used on December 18th. Oh, okay. Here's the version. Oh, smear promo video 16 by 9 jumbo version 2. Cool. The interactive topper of the for the for the article appears to have been finalized December 16th. Um yeah, this I mean 2024 2016 lively topper. That's the first one that I can definitely say like that does look like you can't really question that one. Um Multimedia sources, timestamp December 18th. Um, this is I don't know what this is referring to. Another video? Or, oh, no, just like a image. And that is it. That is, that's when like you go out with a whimper or whatever. Angel. Okay. I will do that. Um, that was such an anticlimactic way to end. Page 168 is like just highlighting of coding. Um, but yeah. Oh, goodness gracious. We're done with this one. I I I don't know if I should say I can't wait, but I'm definitely curious what Blake Lively's team is amending to her complaint that because they were saying that's what they were going to do. Um, I don't know. What do you think so far, if you're still here or if you're watching this on replay in the comments? Like, my brain's again just kind of mush. I can't believe this is I don't know. There's so much. I'm still stuck on that. Like, what, just as a filmmaker, as someone who loves psychology, who feels just empathy for victims, especially victims that don't realize they're victims, because I think we all can relate to that. We all feel like, oh, I asked for that, or I wanted it, or like we all kind of have at times played mind games with ourselves. Not to this level of extreme, but even like, I don't know, even like making plans and going out, which sounds so benign. It is benign compared to this, but like we've all crossed our boundaries at one point or another and regretted it for whatever. And yeah, that's a whole conversation that I'm so fascinated about. So I'm really bugged that those text messages were so blurry. But we made it through 100, excuse me, 68 pages and 4 videos. It's so crazy. I feel like this has set back the fight for real victims to report their cases and give the masses more to point out how women use these situations to benefit them. Yeah, this is a big point now of conversation. I might be very naive. I don't feel like that would be the case because it is such a specific case. I think it might set things back as far as you need proof, and specifically around like big celebrities or women in power, which also not only sets back the conversation and the reporting of the cases, but also could increase the cases themselves. And that's very sad because, again, in this dual gender kind of perspective, if a man wants to have any inappropriate sh or any kind of inappropriate thing, although I mean there are policies, and everywhere you go you have like code of conduct sort of videos like, hey, this is what this is, don't do it. And people do it. But yeah, I hope it does not create more audacity on men's side or any perpetrator's side and women's side to like go for it more and harm someone with words even and stuff. But yeah, I personally feel like it's a deeper conversation, so I'm not sure. I've not seen yet anything on my own self, on my own self, uh on my own, like researching and all that stuff so far, except for people worrying that this is kind of where it will lead. Hopefully not. Hopefully this conversation can become about, you know, something that is as nuanced as it is, and be seen and have protections in place for both men and women, and these sets to not be as open ended, and like people can come in and do whatever they want one way or another. um yeah, but I hope you're not right. I know you're hoping that you're not right too. So, yeah, we'll see. We can only like watch and see on this. But thank you so much for joining as I'm burned out. And I will see you guys later. My tonight's live will go on a little later, but will also be probably a lot shorter. Yeah, thank you. I'm gonna go definitely get some rest, distress, and detach a little bit because during the day I keep watching things to be updated, and I today I think I'll take a little bit of a step back, and but I'll see you hopefully tonight at around 8:30 Eastern time, US time. I do have a class that is supposed to end at 8, but we went really way over last time, so we'll see. um but yes, have a wonderful day. um and I'll hopefully see you later. And hopefully this helped. I don't know, or entertained. All right. Bye. And thanks for coming.